Hi, my name is LaShawn J, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Love After Lockup, episode 38, Ticking Time Bombs. So the first couple I want to talk about is Michael and Justine. And we see them in this episode. They're in the bathroom and waiting for the results for the pregnancy test. Michael is nervous. Justine is excited, and she says to Michael, "You go ahead, go over and see the results of the pregnancy test." So he goes, he sees the results, and it's okay, they're pregnant. So they're excited. Justine is like, "You know what? My mom is coming in town soon. We could probably break the news to her when she comes into town." And Michael's is like, "No, I don't think that's the right time. Why you want to tell your mom? We just found out. Let's wait." And he was like, "Do you also want to tell the kids already?" And she was like, "No, I don't want to tell the kids, but I would like to tell my mother." He's skeptical because him and Justine's mom are not really on a good page, and he just don't think that she's gonna really like him. She doesn't really like him anyways. He think that this might make her not like him too much more now. So the next episode they show Justine, she's driving, and Michael, he books a studio session. Justine is driving. She pulls into a parking area, and she's like calling her manager. And she's telling her manager, "Hey, I've been with the company for a few years now, but I'm going to be putting in my resignation. My husband came home, and he really doesn't want me to work, and he wants me to be home with him and the kids. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to resign." So her manager is just like, "Really? You sure this is something you want to do? I'm hoping you put enough thought and effort into this before doing this." And she's like, "Yeah, I went back and forth with it, but I think this is the best thing for us right now."
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Michael, in the meanwhile, he booked a studio session, and he couldn't really get a studio that he prefers, but he went into like an in-house studio to record a studio session. And you know it's not all that. He asked the guy about how the rap game has changed, and the guy was just telling him everything that's changed from the 6 years he's been locked away. But he's starting to seem a little bit more skeptical now that they're gonna have an extra mouth to feed, and that the rap game has changed. He's not gonna be able to book anything out of town because I guess he's on parole or probation. He can't leave town, whatever the case is. So yes, Michael is realizing that this is not going to be as easy as he thought it was going to be. Justine quits her job, so she's out of work. He's not working, so they're just solely relying on the sneaker company and his rapping. His rapping is going to cost more money than it's going to bring in because he has to pay for studio time and everything else. So he's realizing that this is not going to be as easy as he planned it out in his head. And so it's going to be two people, no income, and an additional mouth to feed, plus all the kids that they already have. So hopefully it works out, but I don't see it working out.
Stop it. Get some
The next
help.
couple I want to talk about is Skyler and Nathan. So we see WeTV, the staff, they're like, "Hey, we were supposed to meet Skyler and Nathan around this time, but now we don't know where they are." They called a friend of Nathan to see if he could get in the house, and they called Skylar's mother. So Skylar's mother arrived, and she's crying, she's hysterical. She's thinking, "Hey, something happened. Did Skylar relapse? Are they back? Did they go back to drugs? Like, what's going on?" So she's pretty nervous. She's scared. She's crying. They're just trying. They've been calling her phone. They're calling Nathan's phone. Nobody's answering the phone. They have no idea to what's going on with them. So it says finally 4 hours later, we see Nathan's car pulls up, and Skylar leaves the car, and she goes straight into the house. She doesn't say anything. She just walks straight into the house. A camera crew goes into Nathan's car, and he starts talking to the camera crew, and he's telling them, "Hey, the issue was I've been telling Skylar certain things that she do. It just triggers me, and I don't like certain things that she do, how it affects me. And this is what we was talking about." And it basically him talking about what him and Skylar did triggered him, and he gets volatile with the camera crew, and he asks them to get out his car. He stops on a highway, and he let them out, and he drives off. Even in the confessional, he really did not want to talk about it. He wanted to skip the subject, stand clear of it, all of it. So we see Skyler sitting down with her mom. So she goes into the mother's house and she sits down with her mom. Her mom's hysterical. Her mom's is nervous. And her mom was really worried about her. So she sits down with her mother, and her mother's, asking her what's going on. Why wasn't we able to get in touch with you? We were all worried about you. What was going on? So she tells her mother that she went out for drinks with her friend and it got late and she basically missed a phone call or two from Nathan and he got upset about that. They argued about it. They went to sleep. She thought everything was done and they were going to move on and go on from there. But Nathan was still very upset about it. So what ended up happening the next morning when Nathan woke up, he woke up with the same issue on his mind and they started arguing again. And he grabbed her phone and he threw the phone against a wall or a truck and the phone smashed and broke. So then Skylar took his phone, threw his phone and broke his phone. And I guess they were arguing back and forth the whole day. The whole time everybody was trying to get in touch with them, they're arguing. The mom is just like, this is not a healthy relationship for you to be in, seeing that you're in recovery and you just got out of prison. And I'm thinking you need to, let this go because you can't control how he reacts. You can't control how you're going to react to the way he's reacting. So, Skylar's just keep professing her love for Nathan. She's not really taking in anything her mother is saying to her. She's more just, yeah, I understand, but she's in love basically, or she's agreeing with her mother, but she's not taking in what her mother is trying to tell to her.
Are you stupid or something?
So she's just saying, well, she wants to give love a try. She wants to give love a try. And if it doesn't work, she's just going to give up on love. And honestly, I think she needs to just stand clear of Nathan. He's very jealous. He will continue to be jealous. It doesn't seem like he have an understanding that this girl has friends and people. She's young. She has friends and she wants to hang out once in a while without him being down her throat, without him blowing up her phone and feeling like she needs to answer every video chat, every phone call, everything. He's never going to understand that because of the type of person he is. And they're going to continuously clash. So hopefully Skylar just listens and gets herself out that situation because this situation is clearly moving in a direction that is not going to be good in the future. The next couple I want to talk about is Travis and Ashley. So we see Travis and Ashley, they're on their way to see Travis's mom. And, they decide to stop by a local store to grab her some candles because she loves candles. Get her a gift. Just a little, hi mom gift. We're coming to visit. So they go to the store, they pick up a few candles and it come up to $80 something. And I'm just like, I love candles myself. I love scented candles, but $80 something for some candles? Wow.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
The aroma better have been the best for those. So they're going, they picking up the candles. Travis swipes his card and it was declined. And Ashley's like, oh, well, the money, we're broke basically. The money that I had on there for him is it's nothing on there now. So he turns over to Ashley. He's like, do you have any money on you? And she's like, no, I have $10 that I found in the car. And he was like, okay, well, let's go to the car. Let's go see if we can find some money. So they race to the car and they're digging, looking for cash in the car. And Ashley's like, here's $20 that I had. I was going to get my nails done with it, and he's like looking for money. And she's like, I don't even understand. Are you like trying to impress your mother? And Travis goes crazy on her. Oh, he's a mama's boy. He goes crazy and he's like, of course I'm trying to impress her. You don't just pop up at somebody's house you haven't seen them in years and not just come empty-handed, And she's like, we can't go there looking like trash. And she's like, I'm not trash. And he was like, I'm not saying you're trash. I'm just saying we keep arguing about the same thing, money. Yes, Travis, you're going to keep arguing about money because money is a really challenging problem in relationships. So seeing that you have no income, seeing that she had a failing business and she supported you for 4 years and now she has nothing. Yes, you're going to keep talking about money. I don't understand. You think the money issue is going to go away?
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Like, you're asking her to pull money out her derriere at this point because you know she sold everything. You know she's evicted. You know y'all been living from hotel to hotel and most likely going to have to live with your mother at your grown, ripe old ages. So why do you think money is not going to be an issue? That's going to be an ongoing issue until somebody starts making some money. The money is always going to be an issue, Travis.
Are you stupid or something?
Okay. Anyways, so he goes crazy on Ashley and he's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to break up? And she's like, no, I don't want to break up. I've lost everything. I don't want to lose you too. And that's crazy. Now you want to run and head for the hills now that she's broken. She can't afford this lavish lifestyle that she told you about and you was looking forward to. Or even she can't even afford candles. That's how broke she is. So Travis scratches up and finds the $80 or whatever balance that his card didn't have on it. So I figured that they split the payment. They took whatever the card had on it and then they took the cash as the balance. And he buys the candles and they go see his mom. So they're sitting there. The mom welcomes them. She's so excited to see her son, and definitely what I thought, he was a mama's boy. She's excited. She brings him in the house. They have a little conversation. She was saying, hey, she was asking Ashley about the jewelry business, and she showed her ring. She's like, this is a vintage engagement ring, and she shows it to the mother, and she was like, yeah, your prices is kind of too high for me, but you have some very gorgeous jewelry. And then Travis's mom put the jewelry on and was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this back to you when I decide if I like you or not.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And I was like, it could have been a joke, but I would have been like, excuse me, you're gonna give me back my jewelry if you decide you like me or not? That wasn't funny, not to me. Ashley went on to tell her about her failing business. She got emotional as she usually do, and it's understandable because she's lost everything, and that's just something very difficult to deal with. And I know she's hurt by it, but she made these choices. She knew it was going down in the gutter, and she did nothing other than push it more further in the gutter by supporting somebody else. You have a business that's failing and you're investing money in somebody who's in prison. That seems like something that would happen. But, she tells her about it. The mother starts showing them around. The mother has a beautiful home, very gorgeous, nice, and big. She also showed them the I think it was a garage home or pool house. And she shows them that, and she shows them the bedroom, and she's like, she says to Travis and Ashley, hoping y'all could stay because, seeing the situation, I'm hoping y'all could stay. They say thank you, and Ashley's like, we're adults, and we should be able to find a place to stay on our own. And she says, yeah, even though, but right now, y'all in a difficult financial situation right now, so I would love for y'all to stay. But, Ashley's saying that she doesn't really want to stay there, which I don't blame her, because she doesn't want to be underneath a microscope. And you know what? These people don't really know each other. They never really lived together. And then her moving in with his mom and not even really knowing or having a relationship with the mother before she moved in with the mother, it might cause some kind of confusion. She does not want to be in somebody's house, and they're constantly looking at the way what she's doing, when she's doing it, how she's doing it. There's a freedom of having your own space, and I understand that she wants to have her own space. So even though it's a lovely home, she definitely does not feel like she would be comfortable there. So the next scene we see Travis and his mom. They're having a drink out in the backyard, it seems like, around a fire pit, but it wasn't cold enough to have a fire. And she asks, where's Ashley? And he says, hey, Ashley went to a jewelry store to try to get some cash and flip some jewelry. Ashley was speaking to somebody who owned a local jewelry store. It seemed like it was clothing and jewelry, and it's like a combination of those. And she was asking him about jewelry and showing him what she does. And he was like, what, you're really good. You should work here part time. And she was like, I might might really have to work here part-time. So hopefully she filled out a job application and she started working there, because if she's trying to move out, she needs to get on it as soon as possible. And Travis and his mom, they were sitting having a conversation, and his mom was just like, you know what, I'm happy you found somebody that you love, but I don't think y'all should be getting married right away. And he's just like, you know what, her faults, I'm good at her faults, she's good at my faults. I love her, she's a good person. And his mom is just like, I understand everything you're saying, but I just live together. Just live together. You don't really know this person. You're just really meeting her. And that is so true. He doesn't really know her. He just met her. He doesn't really know her. So live together. Learn this person that you met via over the phone. And he just doesn't want to hear that. He's like, I know everything it is to know about her. I know this person for 4 years, and I know this and I know that.
Stop it. Get some help.
So the mother was just like, you know what, this conversation is over. I'm tired. I don't want to have this conversation anymore. My door is still open. So the mother basically is saying she understands her son is in love, but it's two people who has bad finances, who never lived together before. So what is the rush getting married so fast? The next couple I want to talk about is Monique and Derek. So last episode we saw Derek, his brothers, he met up with his brothers and they left, and they were going to the sister house where they had to have a little get together for him. So he's in the car with his brother and his brothers, and he's talking, and his brother, the one's driving, he's like, you know what, what's up with your girl? Like, I don't really like how you're not standing up for our family. She's causing division within the family. And he's just like, you know what, I'm not really causing division in the family. She doesn't like our sister because they was coming at her, they was talking about her looks and things like that, and she didn't like it. So she started coming back at them. And the brother was like, but still, you're not saying anything to defend us. She's talking about us like we're trash. She's running her mouth, basically making our family look crazy, and you're not doing anything to defend us. And he's just like, you know what? She's been solid for 2 years. When nobody was there, or people would say they was going to do something and they ended up not doing it, she was the one doing it for me. And he's just like, but she's not even your type. Like, this girl is not your type of female that you mess with. And he's just like, I know the sex is trash. You don't even like BBWs. So, at first I was the one saying, hey, maybe he really likes her. Maybe I don't see why everybody's going crazy over it. Maybe he really likes her. But maybe he really don't. Maybe he's just using her. There's some people saying he's using her. Some people think he really like her. I think maybe it's a mix of both. But I still really think that he really likes Monique. I think he still has some interest in Monique. His family just does not want to accept it, but whatever. So they pull up to the house. They go inside the house. They sit down, and him and his brother's talking. He puts his hand on his shoulder, and his brother takes his hand off because he's like really frustrated, because he feels like you're letting her be very disrespectful and you're not saying anything. And he's kind of right. Monique is being disrespectful to your family. Your family is being disrespectful to Monique. And he has to be the wedge between the two of them. He has to be the man and say, hey, Monique, you don't like my family, but you're not going to be disrespectful to my family. Because at the end of the day, this is my family. And he needs to tell his family, hey, you might not like Monique, but you're not going to be disrespectful to her, because at the end of the day, this is my lady and this is who I want to be with. So him just staying out of it and allowing them to go back and forth constantly on social media, via text, and all these different scenarios, just allowing it to happen, he's the one allowing it to escalate. Because if he would have put his foot down and stopped the confusion and put boundaries on both of them, not just one, but both of them, then it wouldn't be no escalation, because his sister would know, hey, both of his sisters would know, hey, might not like her, but this is who my brother decides to be with. So we're going to show her some respect and not be calling her phone or doing any things like that. Mind you, he cannot control neither one of them or what they're going to do. But I'm pretty sure if he's firm and he puts his foot down and he's just like really stands on this position, far as for the disrespectfulness and the name calling and just the drama on social media, I'm pretty sure Monique would respect Derek's decisions, and Derek's sisters would respect his decisions, and they would not be disrespecting each other constantly the way they are. He's allowing this to happen, and this is why it's getting escalated constantly. So Derek goes on to show his brother this jail iPad that he has, or tablet, and he's like, "Look, I have girls," because he was telling his brother, "Hey, why don't you just talk to her? You might like her." And his brother's like, "Bruh, we don't like BBWs over here." And he pulls out the tablet and he's showing him, "Hey, I got girls. I got girls. It's not like I can't get a girl. I don't understand what the problem is. I got girls. This girl was the one who was chasing us. This girl sent me this video, and you could clearly see his females twerking in the video. So it's not that I can't get no girls. It's that she's been there for me. She shows me love and dedication and shows me consistency. She shows me consistency when nobody else was showing me consistency. She was the one, every time I needed something done, she would go do it for me. She was the one giving me money. She was the one answering the phone calls for me every single time. When you was too busy to do it, when you said you would do it and you wasn't doing it, when you didn't have no time to do it, she was the one there. So this is why, I'm with her. So his sisters walk in and his nephew, and they hug him, and his sister was like, "Oh, why wouldn't your girlfriend give me your number? We've been trying to get in touch with you. Why wouldn't your girlfriend give me your number?" And the other brother was like, "She tracks him." And she was like, "Look, he doesn't want y'all to be disrespectful to her." Then the other sister, the older sister, was like, "Well, she disrespected me. She's disrespectful. She's hungry. She's overweight." And she just started going in on her.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Again, what did Derek say when the sister was doing all of this? Derek said nothing. Derek did not say, "Look, stop disrespecting my girl. I don't allow her to disrespect you. So why you here disrespect her?" He didn't say anything. He just allows these things to happen. I don't know if he likes it. It seems at this point he likes it. So the sister was like, "Okay, forget all about that. We could talk about this later. We have something planned for you, and we're gonna go to it." So he goes. Everybody gets in the car. They go to the mom's gravesite, and Derek started talking about his mom showed him about weed, and she told him about, "Hey, you could sell this, or you could smoke it." And his mom was the one who, he remembers about her. She was leaving a nightclub and she ended up getting shot. They went to the gravesite. They bonded. They realized, Derek's starting to realize, "Hey, I can't shut my family out from Monique because I need my family." And they definitely don't want him to be shut out. They want him to be in the family like the way he used to be. So, they hugged, they cried. I cried. Everybody was, a little emotional. They dropped Derek off at the hotel, and he was just like, "Look, guys, tomorrow I want y'all to meet Monique. I want everybody to be on their grown-up stuff. I want all of us to be together as a family, and let's be respectful." Okay. And he gets out the car. The next thing we see Derek and Monique. They're waking up in the bed, and she's just like, "What time did you get home?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got home around 11." He told her that he was with his sisters, and that they took him to his mom's gravesite, and she was just like, "How did you feel about it?" And having a little conversation. She was saying, "I don't understand, why didn't you tell me you was meeting up with them?" He was like, "Well, basically, it was a surprise. My brothers pulled up on me at the store, and I left with them. It wasn't like something intentional or I planned it out, but I did end up meeting up with them." So they talked about that. Derek also said that somebody was supposed to call him to do a drug evaluation, and he was like, he answered the phone. The phone call came. He answered the phone, and then they asked him about the drugs that he did, and he admitted to having heroin and cocaine and weed. And Monique is like, I mean, her mouth is always like, but she was like,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
she was like, first she said, "Well, I'm happy you called me your girlfriend, but I never knew you did drugs." And he started explaining to her how it got in his system And that was a long time ago. And she's like, well, all he ever told me was he sell it, he don't use it. But I'm shocked. She was like saying, hey, so is there anything else you want to tell me? Because I'm shocked about this. Is there anything else you want to tell me about stuff that you did or didn't do? Like, you have any other girlfriends out there or anything? He was like, no, you're my only girlfriend. She also asked him about his sister. She said, so did you ask your sisters, were they the ones following us? And he was like, they said they wasn't the ones doing it. He knows who was doing it, but he's not going to tell her. And she's like, well, so who was it then? Because that's a big thing. He goes, he starts brushing his teeth. He starts trying to ignore the question. She was like, look, I don't know what you want me to tell you because they say they didn't do it. I don't know who did it. So she's like, I had to switch hotels. I had to switch up cars. You know, I was scared. And he's just like, heck if I know. There's nothing I can tell you. So he basically avoided every last question. He didn't tell her about the CO, and he ain't tell her about nothing. So hopefully when she finds out, she makes a good decision. The next couple I want to talk about is Cameron and Eris. So Cameron and Eris, they woke up at the bed. Their honeymoon. They basically, it kind of like was on their honeymoon, but they're not on their honeymoon. So he wakes up, and he's just like, gets out the bed. He starts getting ready. They said they had so much fun the night before. So Cameron starts getting dressed, and he's just like, hey, babe, you know I love it when you're naked, but I'm wondering, why are you still naked? Because you know we had plans. And Eris is just like, well, I think I'm going to sit this one out because I'm not feeling too good. I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling sick. So he's just like, but you knew this ahead of time and you knew you were supposed to be meeting my family. And she's just like, yeah, but I'm not going. So he's aggravated. He said, I'm going to let this one slide, but like, I'm really upset and I understand why he's upset. You never met his family because he wanted her to meet family that didn't even come to the wedding. You never met his family. You just met him. Y'all got married. Didn't meet his family. He's supposed to move out of state for you. He's supposed to be a whole daddy to your daughter, and you can't go and meet his family at a welcome home party? Like, so he could do everything for you, and you can't do nothing for him. Okay. So he's starting to get dressed. They're arguing back and forth, and she's just like, go have fun with your family, and I will see you later. And he's just like, control your neck muscles when you're talking to me. Well, Cameron, I don't know if you had black girlfriends before, but the neck muscle is something that we cannot control. It does this when people talk. When you talk and you have attitude, it just do it. Okay? You cannot control it. So I don't know how Eris is going to control it, but usually that's something most black people cannot control. So they get in an argument. He storms off. He says, I might not even come back the way you acting. So Cameron goes, he's at his family, and they're just like, it's weird because everybody's expected Eris to be there. This is somebody who just married into the family. Where is she? So his sister, Stephanie, the most outspoken one, she's pressing the situation. And he was like, look, don't ask me why she's not going to be there. She's not here. Ask her. Like, stop harassing me. I'm here. I'm here for this party. I'm here to come and see y'all. She didn't make it. Okay, well. So he's trying to like move on from the subject, but his family's not letting down. They're not going to give it up. They want to know why Eris didn't come. What is the problem with her coming? So the sister called Eris, basically. And she answers the phone like, hello. And they're like, hey, sister, hey. So what's the problem? Why you didn't show? What's going on? She's like, yeah, I'm kind of tired and I don't feel too good because of, the liquor we was drinking, the Henny and stuff like that. And Stephanie takes the phone and she's just like, well, you know what? I'm going to ask because he said you did not want to come. That's why you didn't come. And she's just like, no. And just was quiet on the phone. It was awkward. They hang up the phone with her. And, his sister starts going crazy. She's just like, you know what? You're moving with her. She got married to you. Families marry each other. People don't marry each other. Families marry each other. So Why did she not come? We went to her wedding, and it's just like, that's so true. These people don't know you. They do not know you, but they came to your wedding. They had the whole cutout photo of their father and traveled over there, probably in a hotel, Airbnb, and everything. And you couldn't go, you couldn't even pop your face in to meet some of his family members. Like the wedding wasn't the first impression, because that if the wedding was the first impression his family had of you, it was horrible right there. You don't even know this man from a hole in the wall, you marry him. That's one. But the first real impression they're gonna have of you, you don't even show up to say hi, to greet them. Hi, yes, I met your son, I fell in love with him, and this is why we did this shotgun wedding. Nothing. So I'm just not understanding. But yeah, the sister was like, yeah, we came to her wedding and everything. Like, seriously? So she's going off on Cameron saying, look, how are we supposed to know you're in good hands when you go all the way where to live with her? Because I'm not too sure where Eris is from. I think she's from California or Miami. But she's saying, how we know you're going to be in good hands when you go live with her out over there? Like, how we're going to know if everything is going to be okay? And she doesn't even want to come here. Like, so he starts screaming. First, he was asking for somebody to pass him a bottle. And he climbs and he's like, everybody be quiet. And his sister's like, I don't know who you're talking to. I don't know who you're talking to. And we can clearly see he already had a little too much to drink. He's screaming at the top of his lungs. Everybody's looking at him. He's trying to stand up on top of the table, on top of the chair. She's like, look, it's your ring, Mr. Married Man, who keeps saying I'm going to my wife, because he was trying to leave early. He's like, oh, y'all getting on my nerves. I'm going to go to my wife. Your ring is on the table. He's stumbling all over the place. Everybody's trying to help him up and get him off the chair that he's standing on before he falls and breaks his neck.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
And he's just like, he just stumbles his way out the door.
Stop it. Get some help.
And that was it for the episodes. So Cameron clearly has he has a drinking problem where he doesn't know how to hold his liquor, and he clearly doesn't know what to do with himself when he's drunk. So when we see the a little flash from the episode next week, that Eris is going to be looking for him all over the place. He's probably passed out somewhere. Who knows? But yeah, basically, I think Eris should have went to the party. They made an effort to come to your wedding. The least you could have did was be there. Even if you did not drink, just be there and socialize with his family, because his family is important to him, just like your family is important to you. So I really think she should have went to the party. That was wrong on her part. And it's looking like this match made in heaven is going to be a match made in hell, because he clearly doesn't know how to control himself when he drinks. Eris seems like she's not a compromising person. So can't wait for the next episode. And all, this was a good episode, and I really enjoyed it. But please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week with another recap.